Ahoy, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. And today, we've got a little bit of a special video for you guys today. My friend gave me the idea. He's a new to the AoE game, same as me, but he's new to RTS in general. And he said he was struggling with some of these Art of War challenges, getting the gold rank. So I figured I would make a guide on how to get gold in all of the different Art of War challenges here. And I'm going to be doing it like as simply and as basic as I possibly can. You know, as few clicks as possible is going to be the goal here. So we're not going to be going for, the best time you can possibly get or whatever. We're just going to be going for as simple as it can possibly get and still get gold. So let's get into the first one, shall we? The early economy. And I'm just going to skip these videos here, but obviously you guys can watch them if you want. All right, first thing we're going to do is make a villager. And then we're going to take our sheep and move it a little bit closer to our TC here. And then we're just going to attack the sheep. Pretty simple. And we're going to rally our... Actually, let's rally the TC to the gold. And we're going to hotkey the TC on... I like to put it on 4, but you can put it on whatever you want, really. We'll make a mining camp right there at the gold. And we'll just keep rallied onto it over here. And we'll just make sure throughout the match, always keep some villagers queued up in here. And then we're just going to go look for some sheep. Is all we're going to do here. As soon as one gets built, I'll just queue up another one. So I'm always going to keep at least 2 queued. That way I don't forget to make one ever. Especially for this one, it's pretty important because the mission has like just enough time to be able to create all the villagers that you need to get gold. So, just going to keep going there. All right, we are about to get supply blocks. So let's just take our gold guys and make a house. And we're just still looking for sheep here. We've got enough sheep. Let's bring them back. All right, we'll pull them back on the gold there. Our villagers ran out of sheep, but that's okay. We're just bringing our sheep guy back. We got plenty of food. We'll get the sheep real nice and close to the TC here. So we only need 200 gold here. So as soon as we've got enough gold, we're going to move. And we're just still looking for sheep with this guy. Making sure my villagers stay queued up. This one's pretty easy. I don't expect anybody will have very many struggles with this one, but alright, we've got enough gold, so let's take all of the villagers that were on gold, and we'll come over here and throw down a mill next to these deer here. And we're going to re-rally our TC onto one of the deer. And then we're just looking for 4. We're just looking for 4, it's hard for me to talk when this guy's talking. We're just looking for 400 food, basically. So all we're doing is wait until we get 400 food, and we're just going to keep villagers queued up from here on out. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't matter where the deer are, There's tricks that you can do to get the deer closer to the mill, but it really doesn't matter that much. Just rally your TC onto one of the deer, and then let the AI do the rest of the work here. And we're just going to sit here until we get enough food and villagers to complete the mission here. Is basically it. Pretty easy one. We're about to have 400 food here. We're going to queue up one more villager. That way we don't ever forget to queue up a villager while we're making our wonder here. We only need 5 more food. We're about to have it here in a minute. Come on, baby. Give me that food. Okay, we got the 400 food. So let's construct a landmark now. It doesn't matter which one. I'll just go with the council hall. It really doesn't matter. Just use the guys that are on your sheep to create it. And we're going to keep queuing up some bills. So once you get to 18, you're about to be supply blocked here. Just make one more house, and that'll be the last house that you need to make. So a total of 2 houses is all you need to make here. And we'll go back onto the sheep. Not that you really need to at this point, but we're going to anyway. Okay, so we need 4 more villagers, right, to hit, because we're at 18 out of 21, so we need actually 3 more, right? Yeah, 3 more. So I've got 3 queued. Let's queue up 1 more just in case. And we're just going to AFK now, basically, until we hit the gold medal here. And that's all you got to do. We've already got enough. We got more than enough villagers queued up. We only need 2 of them, but we queued up 1 extra just to be safe. And we'll just wait for this to complete here. Pretty much it. You could get, can you get upgrades in this? I don't even know. Okay, yeah. So you could get like wheelbarrow and stuff if you really want to, but it's not necessary. Not necessary at all. Pretty much your only threat in this one is making sure you keep workers producing the whole time, because if you slack on the workers, then you won't finish in time. You got about 10 seconds of wiggle room that you cannot be building a villager, but that's about it. You really want to make sure that you keep on top of the villager production, and then pretty much everything else doesn't really matter. But anyway, there's the early economy mission. Let's move on to the late economy. Alright, so for the late economy here, we're going to want to be going up to 3 town centers as fast as possible. I've tried to do it with 2, and it just didn't work, so you kind of have to go for 3. So we're going to be focusing a lot on stone early on. We don't need to mine any gold at all in this mission, like none at all. So don't worry about gold. You'll have enough gold from the traders to do everything you need to do with gold. So don't worry about gold. Just mine stone at the start, and I'll show you, obviously. And the announcer guy is actually wrong. So they must have. You'll hear the announcer guy at some point at the beginning of this mission. He'll say, "You now have enough to create a second town center," but you actually don't. So at some point they must have raised the cost of town centers by 50 stone, but they didn't update this Art of War challenge to give you 50 extra stone at the start. So you can't actually build a town center when he tells you. You have to wait just a little, not very much, just a little bit. So just keep that in mind. And some of the older guide videos that are out there might be wrong as well, because they'll probably create a town center right off the bat, but you actually need to mine for a little bit first. So just be aware of that. They must have raised the cost of town centers at some point in the past. But anyway, let's resume. So obviously first thing you do, create a worker and move him onto the stone. And then these 2 guys that are mining gold, we'll move them over to the stone as well. And then this guy over here, he's getting fish, right? But he's got to walk a really long ways. So we're going to create a hunting cabin right here with him, so that way he can just drop the fish off really fast. And obviously, same as the last time, we're going to be continuously making sure we have at least 1 extra worker queued up over here. Okay, so now we have enough stone, so we're going to create another town center right away with these 5 workers, and we'll keep our initial town center rallied onto the stone here. Still continuing to make workers. And then these guys up here on the top that are mining this deer right here, we're going to move them over here, and we are going to make a lumber mill. And we will start a trader as well. So I'm going to have my town centers controlled on control group 4 and my markets on 5. Alright, so now we got to make sure we have 2 extra queued up at all times, because we have 2 town centers now. We're going to go up to 10 on the stone here, and then we'll move off the stone. We also want to be doing the same thing with traders. Make sure you have an extra one queued up at all times. So I'm just like flipping back and forth throughout the mission here, making sure I have enough stuff queued up. Right, now that we have 10 on the stone, you can see right down here, I'm going to move this TC onto the deer, and I'm going to move this TC onto the wood. And just keep queuing stuff up. And once we have enough stone, we're looking for 350 stone here and 400 wood to build our 3rd town center. Yes, thank you. Just keeping stuff queued up here. All right, we have enough stone, so let's move the stone guys over here to the deer. We actually mined a little bit more than we need, but that's okay. We still got 2 queued up. Right now we have enough for a 3rd TC, so let's build the 3rd one with all of the deer guys. We'll just build it right here. And we'll keep queuing stuff up. We'll hotkey this new one that's being created, and this new one will just rally to the fish over here. So we've got 1 rally to the deer, 1 to the fish, and 1 to the wood. Alright, and then these guys can go attack deer again. Alright, so now we want to build another market. And we want to make sure we have 3 villagers, 3 extra queued up at all times. Just like, you should always have 6 in the production here. But now we want to build another market with this guy that's on the farm over here. So we're going to build another market, and we're going to hotkey and rally. Oops. And the guy at some point, the announcer guy, tells you to make upgrades, but you don't actually need any upgrades at all in this mission. As soon as this market's done, we'll make 1 more market for a total of 3. We'll hotkey the new one again and rally it over there. Alright, so now we're just making sure things are always queued up. I'm just flipping through hotkeys right now. Again, the biggest thing in this mission is making sure that you build enough workers and traders by the time limit ends. Everything else is pretty secondary. You'll get enough gold and food just naturally from your traders and guys. So all you really got to do is make sure that you're recruiting enough stuff. All right, we're about to be supply blocks. Let's just take all the wood guys here and create a house. Let's just create 1 more as well, just to be safe. I really should have built that house sooner, but I was talking, so. All right. Once we're done with that, we'll put the wood guys back on the wood. We got an idle villager over here, so that's that guy. We'll just put him back on the farm. And we're just flipping through hotkeys. That's all I'm doing here. Just making sure stuff is queued up at all times. I'm literally doing nothing else. Just 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Just making sure stuff. Okay, I have 2 left. Okay, let's just queue up 2. I got everything queued here, but I'm about to not. Okay, let's queue up 2 more. That's all I'm doing is I'm just looking at production queues. All right, I've got 16 villagers doing nothing. So these guys on the deer are now not doing anything. So let's just move them onto the wood. It doesn't matter. All right, I'm supply blocked again, which is fine. Let's just build a couple houses here with some of the wood guys. Make sure we got stuff queued up. Again, I'm not trying to be efficient here. I'm just trying to show you guys a very easy way of doing this. All right, we got 6 queued, and we've got 6 queued. Perfect. Let's send back to the wood here. We've got plenty of time. We're just looking for 2,400. We're looking for 2,400 food and 1,200 gold is what we're looking for to build the wonder, which we will definitely get at some point. Okay, so we actually only need 2 more traders, so I don't need to queue up traders anymore. These 3 will be good enough. You can see here I've got 28 out of 30. I'm actually going to go 1 over, so we don't need any more traders. Let's build some more houses, because we're about to be supply blocked. We'll just take some of the wood guys and make 2, and then go back onto the wood. I'm just clicking here, if you guys don't know. You can click a house. So I got these guys building the house, right? And then I can hold shift and click another one, and they'll build that house. And then I can hold shift and click on the wood. And after they're done with this house, they'll go back to the wood, is what I'm doing there. We got 11 doing nothing, so I'll just send them over to the wood over here as well. Making sure stuff is queued up and ready to go. I got one doing nothing. Okay. We'll send him over to the wood here. So this town center, now that the fish are gone, is going to be doing pretty much nothing. So I'm just going to send it to the wood as well. And we're still just waiting for 2,400 food. We only need 5 more villagers, so I'm just going to queue up 2 more because that'll equal the 5 that we need. Villager doing nothing. Let's send him over here. And we're just waiting on food at this point. We've got enough gold. We got way more than enough gold, as you can see. We didn't need to mine any gold at all. We had enough trade income to make the gold in time. Now we're just waiting on the food. Obviously, you can do this a lot more efficiently if you wanted to. There's things that you can do to make this go a lot faster, but again, just showing you guys how to do it very simply. We don't actually need any more houses because we've got all the units that we need. We've got 80 out of 80 and 30 out of 30. We're just waiting for 2,400 food at the moment, and we're gonna place the landmark. And we've got, you know, a little over a minute to do it, so we've got plenty of time here. We're just waiting for that. We're gonna use all of our wood guys to create the wonder, or not wonder, the landmark. All right, we've got enough for the landmark. Again, doesn't matter which one you make, just place one of them down. We'll use all the guys on wood to create it. And once this is done, we will have 1. We've still got another minute to go, so this will definitely be done in a minute with all the guys that we have creating it. We've got 28 on it creating it right now, so that's more than enough. I mean, since it's literally the only thing we have left to do, you could just bring everybody if you wanted to. But the amount of guys we have on it now will be more than enough to get it done in time. And there it is. We did it in 9 minutes and 41 seconds, which is in plenty time. That leaves a lot of wiggle room for you guys to, you got about a minute of wiggle room there of, you know, not building either villagers or traders, you know, forgetting to do either one of those. But I think you could see most of that game, I was basically just sitting there. I was hitting 4, queuing up a couple workers, hitting 5, queuing up a couple of traders, and that's about it. That's all you got to do. Pretty simple. Let's move on to the next one, which is, I think, one of the unit micro ones. All right, so we're going to do this with as little micro as I possibly can. We'll probably lose, you know, close to 14, 15 units, which is the, you know, the line for gold. But I'm going to try to do this with as little micro as possible. So we got some horsemen coming up. So obviously against horsemen, we need spearmen. So let's create the spearmen, and they're coming from over here, as you can see on the map down here. So we're just going to move our guys over there. I'm sure there's people that can do this challenge without losing a single unit, but that requires a lot of micro, and I'm trying to do this as basically as possible. So with your spearmen, I'm just going to move them into line formation down here. You can see that's Z is the hotkey. And we're just going to attack move, which is A move. So you just hit A and then left click anywhere on the map or anywhere on the ground, and they will move to attack the horsemen. And you can see we did that without losing a single guy. And no micro really at all. I think the next one is spearmen. Yeah. So the spearmen are coming from up here. So we're going to use archers to take out the spearmen. So this one's going to require a little bit of micro. But we're going to try to do it with not very much micro. But we're going to need at least a little bit of micro to do this. We're going to move our guys into the stealth forest up here. And we're going to use the stealth forest to shoot them as they run past us. We're going to have to do a little bit of stutter step here, I think. But we're going to try not to do very much. Here they come. Make sure all my guys are stealthed up here. And they should start shooting just by themselves. You don't really have to do anything. Yep. Okay, we're going to move back. And we're going to A-click. and then we're going to move back, and we're going to A-click, we're going to move back, and we're going to A-click. I'm just trying to create some space here, so I'm just moving back, creating a little bit of space, and I'm going to A-click back. Wait till they shoot, and then move back again. Pretty simple here. Move back, A-click, move back, A-click. Pretty simple micro here. I think everybody should be able to do this. It doesn't really matter where you move to, just make sure you're moving somewhere. So we've already lost 4 guys. I guess we can't move to that side of the map, but that's okay. And A-click, and we got him. All right, so we lost 5 there, but not too bad. Maybe you guys can do better than I did there and lose less than 5. I think if you can lose at least less than 7, I think you should be fine. All right, so they're bringing archers this time, so we're going to bring some horsemen. And we're going to move them into the stealth forest over here. If you want to get real advanced with this, you'd put 5 in the stealth forest and 5 over here, but we'll just, for simplicity's sake, we'll move them all in the stealth forest. And as they run past, just attack. I'm not going to do any micro at all. I'm just going to let them do it. Obviously, you could click on this guy and move him away, but I'm not going to do that. But if you want to, I would suggest moving these 2 out of the way. I could have easily done it, but I'll show you that you don't need to do it. But I suggest that you do it. Just move those damaged guys out of combat. Okay, so we got horses and spears. So we're going to create spearmen and archers. We're going to select our spearmen. So if you hold control and you click one of the spearmen, you'll select all the spearmen. And we'll put them on control group 1. And then we'll do the same with the archers. Hold control, click one of them, and we'll put them on 2. So we'll put the spearmen into line formation again, and the archers will just be behind the spearmen. And we'll wait for the enemy to come at us. Once the horses get kind of close, then we'll A-move our spears into the horses. And then we'll just let the archers kind of do their thing. So here they come. We're just going to wait for them to get a little bit close to us, and then we're just going to A-click the ground here. And we'll A-click the ground. Simple enough. You could take your archers and micro them back if you really wanted to, but I'm going to not. Like I said, we're doing this with as little micro as I possibly can. There we go. We're at 14 out of 15, so we're very close. I still have done very minimal micro here. And we got one more challenge to go. So we got archers and horsemen. So this one requires a little bit of finesse. So we need spearmen and horsemen here. So we'll do the same thing. Control click the spears, put them on 1. Control click the horses, and we'll put them on 2. So we're going to put the spearmen in line formation again. And we're going to put them like back here, like behind this first house here. And we'll have the horses in the trees. And I'm going to hold position the horses here. That way they don't attack these horses as they run by. Because I want these horses to attack my spears. So we're going to A-click the ground with the spears, and then once they're engaged, we'll attack the ground with the horses here. So we may lose 1 horseman, but we shouldn't lose 2. And you can bring the spearmen in if you want to, or you could leave them out of the combat. It doesn't really matter. And there we go. Easy peasy. We did it with exactly 15 losses, and I did as bare minimum micro as I possibly could. So I'd say the hardest part is the archer part. I mean, you're probably going to have to only lose 5. If you can lose fewer than 5, that's great. But it'll probably have to be 5, 6 at the very most. Because you might get lucky and only lose, You might lose one less on that spearman archer part than I did. But I would say bare minimum 6. If you go 7, you'll probably have to. If you lose 7 on the archer part, you'll probably have to restart. But shoot for 5 or fewer on the archer part, and then the rest should be super simple. All right, so now we're on to the early siege one. We've only got 6 minutes to do it, which is not a lot of time. And this time they give us they give us a choice. We can build some units of our own. So what we're going to do is we're going to create 3. Yeah, I think it's 3. We're going to create 3 battering rams. We're going to create 2 mangonels and 1 springald, I believe is how it's going to go here. So let's do it. So let's create 2 mangs, 1 springald, and we'll create 3 of the... Oh, we can only create 2. Okay, I guess we'll only build 2 then. That's fine. We're going to hot group these onto 2. So we got 1 for the spears, 2 for the archers, 3 for the mangonels, and 4 for our springald. So let's bring these... we'll bring our battering rams down to attack the tower down here. And we'll just kind of slowly move everybody up. I'm going to try to micro this as little as I can. But obviously this one's going to require a little bit more micro than the previous ones. So bear with me on the micro on this one. We'll have these guys hit the tower here. We'll also have our mangonels hit the tower too, because the mangonels do decent enough damage to buildings. And then we'll scout on ahead with these guys. Okay, so now that the tower's down, you can see they have 2 mangonels, so we want to use our springald to go up and attack their mangonels. And we'll get everybody else into position here. What we're going to do with our spears is we're going to put... do we want the spears in here? Yeah, we'll put the spears inside of the... inside of one of the... you know what I'm talking about. The battering rams. I just can't talk. Okay, let's get the the springald to attack the other mangonel. Once that's down, we'll back the springald up. And we'll attack these guys that are coming to try to hit the springald. Okay, let's move the battering rams in, as well as the mangonels. We'll keep all of our other units back, though. So I just want the battering rams and the 2 mangonels to hit the tower here. Once the tower's down, we'll move in the archers. Okay, let's move the battering rams onto the gatehouse here. We'll move the mangonels up, and we'll start hitting the archers with the mangonels. And we'll move the archers up as well to start trying to clear out some of these guys. Once the gate's down, we'll move the rams into the town center. And let's get these guys in as well, and we'll bring our springald up too. So the ram that has the infantry in it will unload here. That way the spearmen can go to town. My mangonels were not shooting there, which is a shame, but that's okay. Just make sure you got the mangonels hitting his infantry here. We lost one of our battering rams, but that's fine. Make sure you get your archers to hit his units. Once all of his units are dead, use your spears to attack the town center as well. And then he's got a couple of units back here, so we'll just use our archers to hit those. He's got a couple springalds up here, so we're going to move our springald up to hit that. I guess we can use our horsemen to hit their town center as well. We still got about a little less than 2 minutes. All right, we lost our Springald, but that's okay. Okay, let's get everybody over here. We got to go hit the Kremlin now. Get our spears in front of our archers here. Okay. We're going to ignore this and we're just going to go hit the Springalds now. Okay, now everybody onto the Kremlin. Everybody. We've got one battering ram left that's quite damaged. We've got, how many is this? 5 spearmen, 9 archers, 2 of our mangonels, and a horseman left. So maybe you will have more than me, but I believe this is all we will need. I think. We'll see. All we can do is play the waiting game now. Did we do it fast enough? I think we did. He's almost down. We got about 15 seconds left. Come on, baby. Yeah, there we go. We did it with 10 seconds to spare there. So, that one might take you guys a couple of tries. You could also go with just 1 mangonel and 3 battering rams if you want. There's a few different ways you could mess around with this one, but that's like a very basic way of doing it. I tried to do as little micro as I possibly could there. So, I think you guys should be able to replicate that, but you might have to play around with that one just a little bit. All right, so this is the late game siege challenge here. So this is very similar to the initial early siege challenge, only this time we got access to some of the higher tech siege engines as well as some upgrades for our siege weapons as well. So you'll be able to create either bombards or trebuchets basically in this mission. So bombards are a lot stronger and they can kill things faster than trebuchets, and maybe the bombards will work. I don't actually know. But we're going to do it with 3 trebuchets and 1 battering ram, as well as there's an upgrade called geometry for the trebuchets that make them do more damage. We're going to also get that upgrade. So we're going to start off with 2 trebuchets on 1 siege workshop, and then 1 trebuchet and 1 battering ram on the other siege workshop. So things are going to go kind of fast here, but just know I'm creating 3 trebuchets and 1 battering ram, and then I'm creating the upgrade at the siege workshop. So you might have to slow it down a little bit, but you know, when you're watching the video. But I'm going to try to do this kind of fast because you don't have a lot of time to waste on this one. So you kind of want to get things going immediately. So 3 trebuchets, 1 battering ram, and the geometry upgrade, which will be so. When you're in the the siege workshop, it'll be the upgrade on the top row, far right. So far right corner of the top row. So let's do it real quick here. You guys will see. You guys can slow it down if you need to or rewatch, but just so you know, that's what we're getting. So 2 trebuchets, 1 battering ram, and geometry. Okay, let's start moving the trebs over this way and the battering ram. We'll have our infantry on 1, elephants on 2, archers on 3, trebuchets on 4, and the battering ram on 5. Okay, so with the trebuchets, we're going to come up here and we're going to attack this tower right here. And then we're going to move the rest of our units into position down here. You can put the horses on 6, I guess. Oh, I got a little bit too close. You don't want to get... So they got archers on the walls. You just want to make sure you don't get too close to the walls there. You just want your infantry to be chilling. So, again, trebuchets onto the tower here. Once they start attacking the tower, I'm going to right click it one more time. I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to hit this other tower. And then I'm going to keep shift held and I'm going to hit the gatehouse. Keep shift held for one more time. We're going to hit the this building with a star above it back here. I don't actually know what it's called, but so right click this. Once they start attacking, that way they don't bug out. You'll hit the tower one more time. With shift held, you'll hit this tower. With shift held again, you'll hit the gatehouse. And then keep shift held yet again and hit this building back here. And that'll make your trebuchets hit it, you know, boom, 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 boom. So we're going to move our infantry into position here because they're about to sally out here, and we're going to go meet them. In the meantime, we're going to send our battering ram up. And we're going to put the elephants in here as well. We just don't want to lose our trebuchets, basically. You got to keep the trebuchets alive. Okay, they're dealt with. Let's send the elephants onto the gatehouse, and we'll bring our all of our infantry up as well. Okay, once the gatehouse is down, you'll just start A moving. We'll put the battering ram onto this building back here. And I want my archers to be hitting these guys. So I'm just going to hold shift and I'm going to click each of these guys with my archers. And you'll just let the infantry and the elephants kind of do their thing over here. Okay, once those are all dead, we'll start attacking this building with all of our infantry. Okay, so they got some knights over here, so we're going to go move to engage the knights. We'll put the battering ram on this building and the trebuchets on that building as well. Oh, my infantry aren't doing what I want them to do. Let me just pull the elephants back real quick. My infantry were being dumb there. Okay. So we're going to hit this building with the trebuchets. So they're starting to attack. We're going to hold shift and we're going to hit the town center back here. We're going to pull our infantry back a little bit. Alright, that guy's dead. We're going to move over here and hit this guy with the archers. Okay, we're going to hit this and then we're going to hold shift and we're going to hit that with these guys. So we've got both our elephant and the battering ram as well as the trebuchets all going from this to this. And we're going to move up here because these guys, once we start attacking the town center, will move to hit our trebuchets. So we want these guys into position to block that. Just make sure everybody's attacking their units here, and you should have enough units to mop this up. It looks like we lost our elephant and our battering ram, but that's fine. And once all of these units are dead, we'll use all of our leftover infantry and archers to go hit the town center as well. So now that all those guys are dead, we're just sending everything to go hit the town center. And you should get done pretty much just in time. You'll have a little bit less than a minute. So you got a little bit of a minute of wiggle room there. So a couple things you don't really have to do, but I did. So with the archers and shift clicking, you might be able to just A-move the ground right here with your archers, and then they'll come over here and attack. But just make sure your archers are hitting the archers that are on the wall right here. Otherwise, they're going to kill your trebuchets. So make sure you watch out for that. Make sure that the archers are hitting those. But again, it's one of those ones that you're kind of going to have to play with a little bit. It might take you a try or two, but you should be able to beat it eventually. And I feel like I did that without doing anything super crazy. So I think everybody should be able to handle that there. All right. Welcome to Advanced Combat. So this one is very similar, again, to the basic combat one. Only we get to use a little bit more advanced units. So we get knights, crossbowmen, and then men-at-arms and like the upgraded versions of the spearmen and the horses and stuff like that. So It's going to be more of the same, only this one, I apologize right off the bat because the game developers have they've screwed you guys on this one. I'm not going to lie. They've massively screwed you. So at some point, they must have nerfed the crossbow damage, like very slightly. Because I think the way this one is supposed to work is 10 crossbows is supposed to be enough to one-shot a man-at-arms. But it just doesn't work in this one. 10 crossbowmen will all shoot one man-at-arm, and he'll have like maybe like 4 health left. So they must have like just nerfed it just a little bit, but enough to where they've broken the very first like challenge in this challenge here. So you can't one-shot man-at-arms anymore, which totally I mean, even if you could one-shot the man-at-arms, it would still require a little bit of micro because you have to target fire while you're stutter stepping. But now, since I can't one-shot man-at-arms, we're going to have to do something a little bit advanced. And I apologize, but it's just the way it has to be until the game devs give you 1 extra crossbow in this mission. Like, they need to give you 11 instead of 10 now because they nerfed the crossbowmen. That way the 11 guys could just one-shot the man-at-arms and everything would be good. But we're going to have to do a little bit fancy microing here. We're going to have to split our crossbowmen into 2 groups. That way the man-at-arms... Basically what we're going to do is we're going to use one group to attack the man-at-arms, and they're going to follow that group as they run away. And then the second group's going to come in and start shooting the men-at-arms. And when the men-at-arms turn to start chasing the second group, we'll do the same thing. We'll run this second group away, and then the first group will run back and attack. And we'll just keep going back and forth like that. First group will come back and attack. Man-at-arms will turn and go to attack the first group, and then the second group will come back in and attack. Like I said, this is very advanced micro, but it's really the only way you can do it because the crossbows just don't one-shot man-at-arms anymore. It's pretty much the only way we can get it done at this point. You can do the stutter step all in one group, and you can win this one, but you end up losing like 6 or 7 crossbows, which is just way too many to lose in this. So I just don't think it's possible. And I'll demonstrate to you guys that the one-shotting doesn't work anymore before I do this, the split up thing. So I'll do that right now. I'll demonstrate that the developers have screwed us, and the the one-shot crossbows don't work anymore. So we'll do that really quick here, and then I'll go to the actual strategy. So here comes the men-at-arms. So we're going to use crossbows, and we're going to throw them into a line here, and we're just going to run out to meet the men-at-arms here. So this is how this is supposed to work. You're supposed to run out and meet them, like right here, and then just slowly start to step back and target fire each one down. And you're supposed to be able to one-shot them with 10 crossbows, but you just can't do it anymore. So I'll click onto one. I'll just right-click this one. Oh. Well, you can see there, they all fired. You can see, like, he ends up having 4 health left there. So we'll do it again. See, you just can't one-shot anymore. You're supposed to be able to one-shot these guys, but you just can't. So we'll back up here. And honestly, the line formation probably doesn't even work all that well anymore. We should probably stay in bunched up formation. That way our units don't get all messed up when we're running through. Like, we should be able to kill them by, like, right here, but we can't. We have to, like, run all the way back here to be able to kill them. And the men-at-arms are also faster than the crossbows, so you can't really run away very well. So it just doesn't work anymore, like I just demonstrated there. So we'll do the actual tactic now. In other words, game devs, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, but if for some ungodly reason a game dev is watching this right now, you really need to give one more crossbow to the crossbow group here, because your challenge just, it's fucked right now. So let's create some crossbows. We're going to have one group. This will be our group 2 with 4 crossbows in it. It's very important to only do 4. And then the number 1 group will have 6. So I'm going to put the number 1 group over here and the number 2 group over here. We'll put the number 2 group, I guess, up here, and then the number 1 group will come down and initiate the attack. Like I said, this is very advanced, so it might take you guys a while to master this, but it's the only way it can be done. Okay. We'll fire, and then we'll just run away. And then we'll have the number 2 group come down, and then they'll start shooting. Okay, now they're chasing number 2 group. Run away again. We're going to have to run up this way. We're going to have to run this way. You kind of have to play ring around the rosy a little bit here. Okay. Get them to start chasing number 1s. Run them away. Okay. Sometimes it gets kind of messy, and some of them, you know, they'll split up like this. Now we can kind of stutter step just a little bit here. But still, we're just running away. We've only lost 1 crossbow so far. Let's come up this way. That way our 1s can get in. All right. We only lost 1 there. Like I said, you're probably going to have to do that a few times because that is very advanced micro. But honestly, doing that, you should be able to make it through without losing any crossbows at all. I ended up losing 1 there, but it is possible to make it through this without losing any crossbows at all by splitting up like that. But shoot for like, I don't know, like maybe like 3 losses, 4 at the very most, but try to go for 3 losses only. But you can do it with only losing, you know, none, with not losing any crossbows at all. But that's like extraordinarily advanced micro. But like I said, it's the only way that this mission can be done. So you're going to have to do it, unfortunately. Don't blame me. Blame the game devs for screwing with the crossbow damage there. All right, sorry, I got a phone call there. But all right, we got crossbows this time. So normally you might think knights would be good against crossbows, but crossbows actually do bonus damage to armor, and knights have armor. So you don't want to actually use knights. You want to just use the normal horsemen because there's 10 of them. And so we could, again, like in the basic combat, we could use a little bit of fancy micro, just pull away micro, you know, just pulling back damaged horses away from the danger, and you could do this little wave without losing any horses at all. But I think after that crossbow debacle, we're going to not use any micro. I'll just A move and I'll take my hands off the keyboard. But just know you can and probably should use pull away micro, and you won't lose anybody if you do that. So, but I won't do anything. As you can see, my hands are totally off the keyboard here. Could just be pulling units away like it's cool, but we only lost 1 horse there. You might lose 2. It kind of just depends on, you know, how the unit interactions go. Maybe you'll lose 2. Maybe you'll just lose 1. But if you just pull away, you won't lose anybody. So I suggest you do pull away micro. Okay, we got knights coming, so we're going to use spears for the knights. We're going to put them into a nice little line formation here. On this one, you'll maybe lose 1 or 2. It just kind of depends on how the unit interactions go. Sometimes you'll lose nobody, sometimes you'll lose 1, and sometimes you'll lose 2. Let's hope we get lucky and only lose 1 at the very most. But we might get lucky and not lose anybody as well. We'll see. It is possible to do no micro here and lose nobody. Or, again, you could just do pull away micro and for sure lose nobody. So like here we're just going to A-move. Like I could just click this guy right here, pull him away, and I wouldn't have lost anybody there. But since I don't want to do any micro, we did lose 1 there, which is fine. All right, next up we got the spearmen and the crossbows. So we're going to want to do some men-at-arms. Put them down there, and some horsemen again. And we'll put them up here. We'll put the men-at-arms in a nice little line here. So we want to engage his spearmen with our men-at-arms, but we don't want the crossbows to attack our men-at-arms. So it's kind of tricky. You want to engage the spearmen like right around here. So let's move our men-at-arms up a little bit. And we got to wait for the spearmen to start engaging our men-at-arms, and then we'll attack the horses. It's a little bit touchy, but it's not too bad. We'll just kind of wait for once the spearmen pass about right here, we'll A-move the ground with our men-at-arms. Okay, let's A-move the ground, and then we'll move in with the horses as well. These two are... You don't want the horses to go attack the spears, so I kind of move them away a little bit, but it's really not that much micro there. We've only lost one man-at-arms so far, or one horse anyway. And let's put the horses in. You could just pull the horses away if you want to, but I guess we'll attack with the horses. Actually, we probably shouldn't have attacked with the horses there. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have attacked with the horses, but I think it'll be fine. When you guys do it, don't attack with the horses. Alright, we're going to go men-at-arms and crossbows here. You would think, why are you doing men-at-arms when they have horses? Shouldn't you be doing spears? They do have horses, but they also have men-at-arms. And men-at-arms are really good at killing spearmen, so we don't want spearmen because of that. We're going to put these guys like right here. That way they block as much of the path as possible. And we're just going to be shooting at these boys here. You can do some target fire if you want to and attack his boys. If the horses slip past the men-at-arms, you'll want to do a little bit of target fire. But if you're going to target fire, make sure that you're only target firing the men-at-arms as much as possible, because they're the biggest threat here. Just going to do a little bit of target fire just to show you guys. It really doesn't take that much micro to do this. You're just right-clicking units until they die. There we go. Easy peasy. So all I did there was I was just right-clicking men-at-arms, and if any horses were to slip by, I'd quickly kill the horse. Alright, so they got archers this time, so this time we can go for knights. So we're going to put some knights into the stealth forest, and we got some spearmen to deal with their knights. We'll put the spearmen in a nice little line formation in the back over here. We're going to put the knights on the edge of the forest here in hold ground stance. That way they don't charge too early. Okay, the archers are attacking my... If the archers start attacking your spears, just quickly pull your spears back. That way they don't attack the spears anymore. And do not let the spears go and attack the archers. You can pull back micro if you want to on the knights, but it's not necessary. If you have, what was I, 13 out of 14, so if you're 14 out of 15, you don't have to do pullback micro. But if you're like 15 out of 15, then you're going to have to do pullback micro there. Anyway, that one's kind of a messed up one since you have to do that ridiculous micro at the start. Again, game devs, if you're watching, please, for the love of God, fix it. All you have to do is add one extra crossbow to the group there, and then you'll be able to one-shot like it's cool. Anyway, hopefully that wasn't too hard for you guys, but I feel like this last one is going to be a little bit challenging just because the interaction doesn't work as it's intended to work. So which is unfortunate, but hopefully you guys can figure out that more advanced micro a little bit, and it's not too bad for you guys. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video on the guide on how to get gold on all these with as bare minimum micro as possible. I tried to make it as simple as I possibly could for you guys. Obviously, there's ways you can do it where you'll, I mean, I only lost 8 units on that one when I was trying it myself. So obviously there's ways to do it where, you'll decrease your times and lose fewer units. But I was just trying to do it as simply and basically as I possibly could. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it helps you guys out in your quest to get gold on all of these. So thank you all for watching. Semper Fi.